next topic is to explain the maintenance of life. How do we maintain life? What do we need to maintain life? If you have heard about Abraham Maslow of needs, you will understand that the basic needs are what we need to maintain life. And these needs are called physiological needs. So if you understand these basic needs, you will know that these are very essential to maintain life. One is water. What is the source of this water? We can get this water through ingestion or drinking. Drinking. We can also get this water by the byproducts of cellular respiration. Byproducts of cellular respiration. How? I showed you a chemical reaction that occurs between the glucose and oxygen to form water, carbon dioxide, and energy. This reaction is a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction that occurs between the glucose and oxygen molecules to form water. So this water is a byproduct of chemical reaction. You can also call it aerobic respiration, where the glucose and oxygen binds together, to form these byproducts. So, water provides a fluid medium for metabolic activities. Because metabolic processes cannot occur in the absence of water. Not only that, the cells, the tissues that perform these metabolic processes are suspended by a fluid. That is, these cells are in a fluid medium. The inside of the cell consists of fluid. The outside of the cell consists of fluid. This fluid medium allows cells to interact with one another. So, water is very, very essential to maintain life. And we can get this water by drinking or by the byproducts of cellular respirations, which we have illustrated, here. Another requirement of life is oxygen. it is needed to provide energy for cells to use for metabolic activities. How do we get this oxygen? By respiration, by inspiration. When the oxygen moves from the atmosphere into our lungs, by diffusion, it is taken into the cells. When the cells receive oxygen, the cells make use of the oxygen to provide energy for metabolic processes in the body. Food. For instance, food is very essential in the production of energy. You can see how food and oxygen are working together to provide energy. To maintain life, we must consume food that will provide nutrients for cells to perform their activities. Not only that, we also have heat. Heat is needed to maintain life. And this heat is produced by the chemical reaction between the glucose and oxygen. That is, one of the sources of heat is from the chemical reactions between the glucose and oxygen. And this heat is needed to maintain the body temperature. Another source of heat is the solar energy. We can get heat from the solar energy. So heat is essential to maintain the body temperature. And the metabolic activities in the body occur under heat. Another requirement of life is pressure. Pressure. What is pressure? And how is pressure important to our life? There are two types of pressure. We have the atmospheric pressure. We have the atmospheric pressure and the hydrostatic pressure. The atmospheric pressure is the force that is exerted on an object on a land surface. For instance, we are on the land and there is an abundance of air in the atmosphere that is exerting force on us. This atmospheric pressure is needed for breathing. We breathe in air that comes from the outside, where the air is in abundance. That is, air moves into the lung from a region of higher pressure. The pressure of air in the atmosphere is very high compared to the air in our lungs. This allows air to flow in, to rush in. Again, atmospheric pressure is that force that is exerted on any organism that is on the Earth's surface. And this atmospheric pressure is needed for breathing, for respiration. Because the air in the atmosphere is of higher pressure, that makes the air to rush in during breathing, during inspiration. And when we breathe in, oxygen enters because oxygen is high in the atmosphere. Hydrostatic pressure, on the other hand, is the pressure that the water exerts on objects underwater. You can see the aquatic animals, the objects in the water are operating under hydrostatic pressure. In humans, hydrostatic pressure helps to maintain blood flow within the body. It helps to maintain flow of blood within the body. A good example of hydrostatic pressure is the blood pressure. This blood pressure is produced by the pumping action of the heart. As the heart pumps blood, a pressure is generated to maintain continuous flow of blood within the blood vessels. Without the hydrostatic pressure, the blood will not flow. There will be stasis of blood. You might have seen patients with problem with blood flow. It's because the heart is not generating enough pressure to sustain and maintain the flow of blood. So these are the requirements to maintain life.